Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. This channel is for you to use whatever I share, whatever tools I give you to start breaking past fear and living that awesome life. That's just fear. People say, well, no, it's this and this and this. And no. If there's some reason you have that is stopping you from getting the life you want, there is fear in the back of that. Somebody said, oh, well, people just don't have, they're not inspired. And I said, if they're not inspired, they're not choosing the things that they're passionate about. And if they're not doing that, why aren't they going after the things that they're passionate about, that they are inspired by? There's some fear-based thinking or beliefs that they can't have that. So, we don't want to sit and analyze everything, but let's talk about love relationships today. I'm going to do something fun. I hope you have fun with this, and you can actually do this with other people. All right, if you do not have your ideal person in your life, let's say you have patterns, you keep dating the wrong people, all these other things are going on, or you don't attract anybody at all, you just can't, there's nobody out there for you. My girlfriends used to say, oh, I date all these, I get all the crazy guys. I attract the crazy guys. Landria, you don't. You always get these great guys. I said, no, I attract the crazy guys. I just don't date them. See, there's always that choice. There's always that moment where you go, you know what? Wow, he's got everything going, but the old heart's saying, this is not right. This is not right. And sure enough, every time you go with that and you blow past what your heart or your gut's telling you, right? 9 times out of 10, you were right about that gut feeling. So a lot of us don't listen to that. We don't pay attention to that because we want to be happy, and so we're willing to go back into those old patterns to get that happiness. It'll be good now. This is the right one, even though, well, he did a couple things. He said it's a couple disrespectful things to me, or he was, with me and, checking out all the waitresses, and it's like your gut's saying, that's just like the last guy who wasn't treating me very well. So you have to start listening to your heart. So let's talk about that right now. We're going to do a really fun quiz. All right, so you and I are in a restaurant, and I say to you, okay, your ideal person is going to come here in this restaurant today. Now, they just pulled up in a car. I want you to tell me, so guys and girls can do this, tell me what car they're driving. And first of all, tell me what kind of restaurant we're in. Is it a fancy place? Is it like cool, casual? Are we sitting outside? Is it a Mexican fun, or is it a dive bar, where there's sports on? Describe the restaurant that you and I are sitting in. Are we sitting outside and it's beautiful, we're having a martini, or are we having coffee? Wherever we are, I want you to describe that situation, and then describe the person that drives up. Are they parking the car, or is it a place where there's a valet and we can see them? What car are they driving? Now pause this every time. If you don't have a clear-cut answer, pause this every time. I want you right now, we're determining your ideal person in your head. And by the way, there are no limits to this. Not like I can't envision somebody that's gorgeous because, I can't get somebody that's gorgeous. No. I want you to tell me exactly who that person is. The person that would make you excited, that you really, really want. What do they look like? They just got out of the car. Describe what they look like. And you can pause it and write these things down before I go on to the next thing. What do they look like? How tall are they? What's their body type? Are they fit, not, maybe average? What are they wearing? All right, so go in detail on that. You have to really see that person. Now, how are they acting? Let's say the valet, let's say they're getting their car parked. Are they like laughing, having conversation? Are they maybe a little quiet and shy? Are they tipping well? Are they, is everybody like looking at them because they're so attractive? Or are they just like a really cool, humble kind of person? They walk in or whatever. They're not, the flashy, dynamic person. Or you get to choose. You get to choose. There's no right and wrong. All right? Get busy. All right, so they walk in and they sit down and they're waiting for their guests to show up. And so I ask you, like, what does this person do for a living? Maybe they don't work at all. Maybe they're independently wealthy, or maybe they're an executive, or maybe, you know, she's a stay-at-home mom and she's just looking for a great guy, or, you know, maybe he's, you know, got a small business, or maybe, you know, whatever it is. Maybe he's a landscaper. He's just a really cool kind of earthy kind of guy. Tell me what that person does for a living. And then also, pause this and really go into this. Tell me what their hobbies are. Oh, maybe he's a fitness buff and he, you know, bikes on weekends, or maybe he just loves to watch old movies, and, you know, maybe he loves to cook and he loves to make pizzas, or she's like, you know, she loves to entertain. You know, she loves to throw dinner parties and she's got great friends, or, you know, or maybe she's a homebody and, you know, she's just looking for a guy to watch old movies with and go to the sports bar with her. Maybe she loves sports. Maybe she's like going to be, you know, your girl that sits with you to the games and knows all the scores and the players. Name all of that. What are they like? What's their personality like? Are they outgoing, or maybe a little shy? Maybe they're just, you know, tell me everything about this person, their hobbies, what they do for a living. Are they divorced? Do they have kids from another marriage? Or are they young and, you know, they want to have kids and they're looking for that perfect person to have kids with? Get busy. What do they order when the waiter or waitress comes up to the table? Did they order a martini or a cup of coffee, or did they just go with water, glass of wine? Maybe they know wines and they're looking at the bottle and checking out the year and tasting and smelling it. All right, so I want you to, if you haven't written all this stuff down, it's so important right now for you to pause this video, because the next thing I'm going to say is going to be critical. So I want you to go through that whole list and detail exactly who this person is. They're sitting in a restaurant with you. All right, we're a couple tables from this person. Pause it, finish that, write it down, visualize it. And then when you're done, put it back on, because I'm going to say something here in a second. I'm going to give you a minute to shut it down, to pause the video. All right, so hopefully you've paused it, written all this down. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. Somebody else just walked in the restaurant. It's their spouse. Yeah. It's their spouse. Darn, that perfect person's married. Now I want you to describe that person. What does he or she look like? Are they fit? What are they wearing? What's the color of their hair? What do they do for a living? What's their personality like? I want you to describe their spouse perfectly. I want you to envision that. They love each other. They're really getting along well, by the way. This is not a bad situation. They're really getting along well. This is the ideal couple. I want you to describe that person. Oh, you're smart. I know that you know what I'm doing, right? You probably know what I'm doing right now. But I want you to go through this exercise anyways. And I want you to pause it, and I want you to detail that spouse of that perfect person for you. So pause it now, describe that person right down to their hobbies, you know, their personality, you know, who they hang out with, all of that stuff. And then I want you to put this video back on, and you know where I'm going with this probably, right? Okay, so hopefully you have your perfect person and your perfect person's spouse. Yeah. Did you write down anything about that spouse that resembled you at all? You know, you know what's funny? I've done this with other people, and they actually will tell me who the spouse is, and the spouse doesn't resemble them at all. And I'm like, to me, it's a no-brainer where this quiz was going, right? But the truth is, even if you know where the quiz is going, if you didn't see yourself, like you or a carbon copy of you as the spouse, then you've got to really dig deep, and you'll understand why you're not attracting that person. Because if you saw that perfect person with somebody that wasn't you, or your, you know, clone, then you don't think that that perfect person is going to be attracted to you. You don't think that you deserve that spot with them. So I did this with a girlfriend who's tall and has long dark hair, and she's a bigger girl, total opposite to me. And when I asked her who the spouse was, she described me. She says, oh, she's an entrepreneur. She has a couple businesses. You know, she's petite. She has blonde hair. She's really fit. She works out all the time. Total opposite to her. And I said, wow. First of all, I figured, you know, did she know that that's where I was going? I got to make sure. I had to make sure my mic was on. And if she knew where I was going, she still didn't describe herself. She didn't say, oh, she looks just like me. She's tall and buxom and dark hair and she's an artist or whatever. And that amazed me that that's how she was thinking. So if you do not envision that perfect person with you or your clone, somebody exactly like you, there's a disconnect. And that message has been going out to the universe. Now, if you see them with you, then I want you to keep that vision in your picture, and I want that person to be you. If you already did that, I want you to keep that vision going up. That person is with you. But they get along really well. They have a lot going for each other. They're really similar. They have a lot of, you know, if they're into sports, they do it together. They work out together, or they're entrepreneurial, or she supports his entrepreneurship, or vice versa. There has to be a connection between them two. So you can't say, oh, well, you know, here's this beautiful woman, but the guy that just walked in is, you know, he's overweight and he doesn't give her any attention, or what. There has to be a connect with those two. So I'm not saying that a fit person has to be with a fit person. You have to have this matching frequency, basically, energy. You already envisioned who they're with. So again, the whole point is that you have to be that person, that ideal person that you want is with. You have to understand that that person that you described needs to be you. And if you need to make changes, let's say you don't work out and he works out, your girl, he works out, and the woman that walked in, his spouse, is fit and you're not, then you have to become that person, which you can. Start working out and you'll attract that guy who wants to be with a fit girl. Does she drink martinis and you're a beer drinker? Well, there's a disconnect. Why are you envisioning his ideal person as somebody who's completely opposite? Maybe you need to change that ideal person. Maybe that ideal person sits down and cracks a beer, but he's still fit and cute and whatever. There's got to be a connection here. And I think what happens with most people is they want something that doesn't resonate with them, and they're acting a different way, and they put this person on a pedestal, but there's really not a match. If you sit in that room with that movie star that you idolize, you picture yourself marrying, you probably couldn't even have a conversation with them. So that's not a match. So the key here is for you to find that frequency where you are the person sitting with your ideal person, and if you need to change who that person is, and those two are all of a sudden sitting there getting along, and you think, yeah, that could be me sitting there, because that person that they're married to is identical to me now, because that person resonates with the clone of me. Now that's a fun exercise. It really is, because you go, oh my God, sometimes you'll find yourself describing the spouse as very different from yourself. So the question is, are you just not feeling worthy? Maybe you need to make changes in your own life to become that person that you want to, that you think is worthy. You know what? See, I knew it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Always shut the phone off when you're shooting. I'm too far into this to edit that out. All right, so do the exercise. That's just one little fun thing we're going to do. I'm going to do a few more videos on your love life and relationships. There's another one I'm going to do after this about what happens when you think you've got everything going and stuff goes wrong and you break up and you're like stumped. What was that? I thought everything was going so great. Wow. And then you're kicking yourself for no reason at all. So we'll do that in the next one. Did you say your mantra? Send light and love to the universe. Send that light and love and peace, healing. Let's raise the frequency. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You are. You are all those things. Pull that veil off and let it shine. Thank you for all the blessings and miracles you're sending, my friend, and that ideal person, and the ability for them, for you, to become that person and to know and feel confident that that person that you envision is looking for you, and that they're doing this quiz right now, and that ideal person sitting next to them is you. Blessings and namaste.